So until I can connect it, I'm not going to tell you what the free gift is. And I don't have my phone. So, hi, everyone. I'm annoyed. Let me just let Laura know. So this is what we're going to be talking about, messiness and goals. And I'm going to give you a 5-step path to getting from clarity to synchronicity. So I did a prediction meditation about this. I did a Facebook Live about it in membership. I did it on Friday with membership for your soul, and they were all kind of blown away by what I was sharing. And I was like, wow, that was really, really great. Hey, Denny. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Diana. So unfortunately, I do have a gift for you. I'm just waiting for my team, because Be Live broke down, to put it together. So once I have that all together, I will share the word for you, and hopefully it'll get fixed. So I'm just waiting. But in the meantime, let's talk about what's going on in the world and with everything. Hi, Alejandra. Hi, Lily. So why don't you give me, on a scale to 1 to 10, 1 being pretty funky and shitty, and 10 being excited and great, where are you right now this week? Where are you this week? Between 1 and 10, are you trying to fix my hair? Are you crappy, or excited? So where are you right now from a scale from 1 to 10? So for me, hi, Robin, as you're all joining, I do have a gift for you. I'm just waiting for it to get hooked up, and I'm not seeing it yet. So unfortunately, it may not be hooked up. Hold on one sec. I'm going to use my phone. I don't know where my phone is. One of those days. It's just one of those days, and you kind of got to go with it. So I got to text Trisha. I'm sorry, guys, but I want to get you this gift. Okay, there. Just had to get to her. Okay, great. So where are you? So we're getting 7s and 2s and 6s and 9s and 7s and 5s. 2 this week, being forced to give up my teaching license after moving to Arizona to teach. Yeah, sorry about that. And a 5 for Nancy. Nancy, I owe you a video. I haven't done that yet. So I feel like for a lot of us, right, where some of us are in week 9, depending on where we are in the world, we're all in different weeks. And we're going to be talking today about setting goals, setting intentions, and going from the goals and intentions to synchronicity, and how important that is. So I'm going to take you through a 5-step process that I feel is really, really important for all of you to get there. So to be able to get to a place of synchronicity, because what's happening for many people during SIP, during this whole experience, a lot of stuff is coming up. And what's coming up is you're starting to realize the things you don't want to do in your life anymore, the things you want to start saying no to, the things you want to say yes to. So you're having a lot of clarity around that. You're also probably taking an inventory of your life. You're taking a serious inventory of where you're at, where you're going, where you want to go, where you don't want to go. And also probably a lot of past memories are coming up as well that are confronting you, saying, oh, shit, I made these choices, and this is where I'm at right now, and I want to make sure that I shift directions. So what I want to do is take you through this little 5-step process that I feel will really help you to gain clarity on from the goal and intention to synchronicity. Because many of you, when SIP gets lifted, you don't want to be going back to the life that you had. I know I personally don't, and I had a good life. But I also know that I recognize inside myself that there are certain things about my life before SIP that I definitely don't want to have that experience again. So what do I need to do while I'm in this incubation period in order to make sure that I don't make those choices, and that I can really keep my life in the vibrational period that I want it in, like in a great place, and to keep growing and changing and expanding. So how many of you are with me? Like, how many of you want to make sure that you can really shift and change your life? Because timelines are blurred right now too as well. And it's really important that we get very, very, very clear about what it is we do want and what it is we don't want as we step out into this new life. I know here in California, California, certain things have been lifted. You know, we're in, I think, phase 2. So certain people are starting to play singles tennis again. And I'm choosing not to do it just yet because I'm still working on my own self right now. I'm working on clarity. I'm working on making sure that I'm not just going to jump out back into my old life, become like a chicken running around without a head. And all of a sudden I'm in the same place a year from now. I'm choosing not to do that at all. So let me just see if it's clicked up. It's not yet. So I can't give you the free gift yet. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Let me just let her know. Okay, I'm sorry about this, guys. So let's start with number 1. Number 1 is a clear goal. You all need a clear goal. And I know a lot of you don't like the word goal, so it might be intention, it might be dreams, it might be any kind of word that you use. Are you clear about one goal that you really, truly want to have in your life? And many of you probably have many goals you want to commit to. But the problem is that when you commit to a lot of different goals, you get distracted and you don't see things through, and then synchronicity doesn't happen. So one goal is like the root system. It could be like the main root of the tree. I don't know if a tree has a main root, just bear with me. And say that goal is to make sure you're in the career that you love, or the partnership that you want to be in, or the house you want to live in. So that's the main goal. Anything else that you want to work on, when you focus on the main goal, all the other goals are going to get touched. You're going to be working on them. So say your main goal is, I want to have a career that I love, that I'm jumping out of bed in the morning and really excited to live. Well, but you also want a partnership, and you also want the house that you want to live in. I just had this conversation with somebody in Soul Finder Academy, and she was all over the place and getting distracted. And I said, stop it. Your main goal is to get A in the door. Focus on the main goal, the A, and B, C, D, E, and F are going to get affected. Because think about it. If I'm focusing on my career right now, say that's my main focus, I'm getting systems in place. I have these 2 amazing programs that I'm getting out into the world, Membership for Your Soul and Soul Finder Academy. So I'm working on the systems to that. Now, those goals they affect the way I live. They are feeding because I'm probably going to move locations again. They're feeding on the type of lifestyle I want, where I want to live, how I want to live, what's going to afford that lifestyle. And it's also allowing me to open up to my own self, like being more visible and being seen, and finally doing the podcast I want to do. And you don't know what kind of relationship that's going to include in your life, or what that's going to bring into my life. So you focus on the main goal, and it really helps you to move forward. So I want to know right now the main goal that you have. Now, Denny, I'm going to talk to you. Like you say, do I look for other work or retire fully? That puts you in indecision. And when you're in indecision, you're not going to have synchronicity. And the way to get that answer is, what is it that you really want to do? So if you can retire and you want to retire fully, you've got to be honest with yourself. If you want to look for other work, I don't think that you really want to look for other work unless it's work that you really enjoy doing. So you have to answer that. I can't answer that question for you if you should retire fully unless you know that you can afford to retire fully right now. So what is the real answer for you? So he says, teaching from home and spending more time with family and grandkids. That's clarity. That's the goal. The problem is that a lot of you set a goal and then you pull up the roots because it's not working out, or you don't see a possibility, or you're living in scarcity, fear, and anxiety, which is step number 2, which is the messiness, which we're going to talk about. But first, I want to stay with a few of you and see where you are with your goals, okay? So I want to know what your goal is. So Sandra, who I know very well, her main goal is mountain biking all over the place, supported by my business. Great. So really, Sandra, what I would have you do, because you're already doing this, I would have you pick the thing in your business that's going to support you mountain biking all over the place. It doesn't mean that we pick 5 different things in our business. You may pick 1 or 2 tracks in your business that support mountain biking. It doesn't mean that you can't do the other 3 things, but you want to focus on the 2 things that are going to allow you to mountain bike. Okay. So let's see what else. Yeah, well, this is the problem, Christine. So Christine says, purpose, I'm 65 and I'm bored and do not need to work financially. I seem to bounce from one thing to another, losing interest quickly because you're not in touch with your passion. You're not in touch with your soul. You're not in touch with, and I'm not saying that you're not in touch with your soul, sweetie. I didn't mean it like that. Like if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, fuck you. But you're like at another stage in your life where you need to get in touch with your passion. So you need to start, anybody, all of you, no matter what your goal is, you need to decide how you want to be spending your time and your day. How do you want to be spending your life? How do you want to be living your life, right? So it's really important that you do that. So let's keep going. Let me just see if there's anybody else goal-wise. Christine and Christine, don't like. So my big one was to relocate. I've accomplished that. Personally, not sure where to go from there. So it depends on where you're feeling dissatisfaction. So what you do first is try to get an idea of the goal that you want. And then where in your life are you experiencing a lot of messiness? When we decide on a goal, it automatically kicks up a messiness, an uncomfortable feeling. We start recognizing how far away we are from it, or we don't understand how we can achieve it or what we can do to make it happen. So you need to start getting into the idea of what's the messiness of it. What is the messiness? So like for you, Angel, you've made your relocation, but where in your life, what else do you want? There must be something else that you want right now that you have the location. Is it a relationship? Is it a career? Is it that you want more free time to hike the hills? You know, is it that you want a mountain bike like Sandra? What is it? Those of you who don't take, like, you have to decide on something. You can't be willy-nilly in your life anymore. I found myself really emotionally exhausted this weekend, for the past 2 weeks, actually. And part of the reasons why I was finding myself as exhausted is during the week, I'm very structured. I'm very busy with work. I have my routines. I have my morning routines. I work, and then I have my evening routines, and they keep me very, very balanced. And I really like it. I like all my routines. Weekends come, I decided not to work as much on weekends. So I don't have as much structure because I'm not out playing tennis. I'm not going to yoga classes. I'm not going to restaurants, whatever it may be. And I'm finding myself willy-nilly because I have no focus in mind. And willy-nilly for me makes me emotionally ungrounded. It makes me unhappy. It makes me feel like uncomfortable in not a good way. So I recognize that I always need structure. No matter what, I need some type of structure. So even if my Saturday and Sunday is to rest, how do I want to spend that time resting? So I'm not just kind of willy-nillying it. When we willy-nilly things, we end up being very, very unfocused and things don't move forward. So number one is the goal or intention. Number two is what is the messiness that you're trying to clean up around it? What is the messiness that has you uncomfortable? Because none of us intend on a goal and don't experience uncomfortable energy because you're doing something new. You're going out into charted territory. You have to experience, you're going to experience something new. It's going to be uncomfortable. I want to see. So it's not working, I guess. All right. So anyway, so like Connie says, I want my money story transformed into one of trust that money is always flowing to me. I get paid to live from my heart. So that's like an overall thought, Connie. But what is the, for me, and I know you, Connie, the thing that I would suggest for you is the goal in that. The goal in that is to create a career that you're loving to do. And that's going to transform your money story. Transforming your money story is a little too out there. It's a little too esoteric. It's not grounded in anything. But doing what you want to really be doing for a living, that's going to make you transform your money story because that's going to be tactile. That's going to make you take concrete steps. Cheryl says, creating a full-time position, coaching from the global pilot program I'm spearheading within the corporation where I work. On fire. Good. Very, very, very clear goal. Very clear goal. So now we're in the clarity of the goals from some of you. Now we're going to get into that messiness. So I shared a story in Membership for Your Soul, how I talked about my uncomfortable feelings. I know that once SIP is lifted, some of what I'm going to be doing is exploring other places to live. It's not that I made a dream come true here. Marin is definitely beautiful, and it's got everything that I've wanted in my life. It's just, I knew it wasn't good. I knew when I bought my house here that after 2 years, I'd be looking to move. I knew it. I went into this knowing it. I'm here, and I'm like, okay, what's next? Now I know I have even more clarity of the next property that I want. So I know that when SIP gets lifted, I'm going to be entering out and looking into other locations. So right now I'm in the messiness of it all. I'm in the uncomfortable feelings of it. I'm in the, where do I want to live? Why do I want to move again? It's not even so much why I want to move again. It's more, what choices did I make? How can I make better choices? So I'm in the inventory part of my life. I'm in the part of, what do I want to experience? What is the new place going to bring me? How do I want to feel about it? You know? So that can feel really messy. That's where we look at ourselves. That's where we look at our lives. That's where we look at our places where we maybe didn't live up to our fullest potential. So where are you messy in all of this now? And be okay with the messiness. The messiness is information. The messiness is the information, like for you, Connie, you know that you don't like what you're doing already. So you have to make a decision. For Danny too. I don't want to do this anymore. That's the uncomfortable feelings, because that's where we feel limitation, scarcity, anxiety, fear. We're not yet in the solution-minded thinking. Now, the third step to this is, what is the character building trait that can carry you through this, that can make you feel like you can do it? So I want to hear from you all now. What is the character building trait? So for me, I'll use me as an example because that's the best way that I teach. And I got so distracted because this thing isn't working, which is pissing me off. The third thing is the character building trait, right? So that is, for me, it would be, what would the character building, because I have a few. You know what the character building trait is for me right now? It's my spirituality, my divinity, feeling connected to God. So I'm really working on my character building trait, which is connection to God. And why I'm working on that is because when I'm connected to God and when I'm coming from God and not from ego or identity, I'm not in fear, scarcity, or anxiety. I'm in abundance. I'm in love. I'm in possibility. I'm in solution. So here I am looking at, like, I'm changing my business again. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I've got a lot of I got a lot of messy feelings happening right around now. I know that I want to move into a different location. I'm starting to get clear about that. So as I navigate this road, my connection to God, building that spirituality inside of me, being a spiritual being, a being that trusts, a being that has faith, a being that knows that whatever the universe brings me, I'm going to connect with God and be able to answer it. That's the character building trait. That's the thing that's helping me to navigate the path. So what is the trait that you want to build? The trait that Denny wants to build is more my openness to being connected. Okay, great. So your character building trait is your divine energy, coming from divinity, coming from the God space inside of you, coming from that place inside of you as you make decisions, which is great. Cheryl says, messiness to me is the dance between kicking butt with current role and creating the new role. Character building trait, connection to true self and being absolutely bold, playing full out. Beautiful. Very, very good job, Cheryl. Gia is, my character building trait is stepping out and up to face my fear of folks judging me. Going to change this, Gia. It's that, to me, is still what I would prefer is the character building trait is loving myself, believing in myself, having the courage to be seen, having the visibility. Because for me, stepping out and up to face my fear of folks judging me is still from a perspective of what is happening to you and not from your internal insides, from inside of you. So I would change your character building trait to, I believe in myself. I'm going to be that person who believes in myself. I'm going to be that person who is ready to be seen because I know I have a lot to offer. I love myself. I believe in myself and I have self-worth. Okay. So does that make sense? Okay. So Sandra's played this game with me in membership. The messiness of this is getting actual clients. The character traits I have is my personality, my ability to empower others while empowering myself, and then knowing that I have to offer is experience. So I would say something else about this. The messiness is, okay, that's great. You're trying to figure out, how do I get the clients that support my mountain biking? The character trait that I would even have you stand more powerfully in is the sublime teacher, the oracle, the alchemist. I want you to get a little bit more of like divinity in that character trait, so that when you say that word to yourself, you're just owning it. And that attracts the clientele. That also has you has you connect to a certain personality inside yourself that empowers you. So my ability to empower others while empowering myself, I would say like master teacher, master spiritual teacher. That's the character trait that's bringing you forward. Let me know if that makes sense here. So she says, the sublime teacher. Love that. Love that. Love that. Great. Let's see. Having the courage to be seen. That's a great one, Alejandra, right? Having the courage to be seen. So what I would want to change that to is I'm courageous. I am not I'm courageous and I'm being seen. I'm visible. I am changing people's life through my visibility. So now I just want to try. Now I'm just tweaking it. That's it. I'm just making it more positive. So more powerful, more empowered, and less disempowering. Okay. So for those of you who are joining me, I did have a free gift for you, but it's not hooked up because, whoop. Okay, great. It's hooked up. Thank you. All right. So I have a gift for you. So if you all type in chat, I can't do that crawler. It makes me want to friggin' throw up. Okay. I don't want the crawler. Chat. I'm going to leave the crawler there for a second. You're going to get a questionnaire that we have for you that's going to help you to get clear. And this is going to help you to get clarity. I'm so annoyed that this whole video got messed up because the first 3 minutes of it is me trying to get in touch with my team. But it doesn't matter. So type in chat. And thank you so much, Trisha. I really, really, really appreciate that. And you're going to get clarity. So we're going to continue on with this, and I'm going to sit here and help you and guide you. So the first thing is having that goal, but not having 5 goals right now. I really want, as SIP gets lifted, I want you to have one goal, because one goal is going to be the domino effect to all the other goals. The second one is being okay with the messiness. It is really, for me personally, I got to be honest with you, the messiness is uncomfortable, but that's okay. Being okay in the messiness. The third one is the character trait that you are going to be. It's not even like I'm waiting to be this character trait. I want you to pretend to be it. So again, my goal is the next property is going to have acres of land. I'm going to be able to walk out my door. I'm going to have my own fruit garden. I have the vision of what it is that I desire. So my business is feeding that. My personal relationships is feeding that. A lot of stuff is feeding that goal, but that's the goal. The messiness in that is taking inventory as what choices did I make? Where do I feel I am right now? Feeling a little bit trapped because I can't explore. Making sure I'm clear about what it is I want to bring in, not making a choice. Like I want to find my home. That's my goal. I'm looking for my home this time. I never looked for my home before. I'm looking for my home. So my messiness is, what is home to me? What was home to me? Oh, that's uncomfortable. So it's all that. The character trait is the connection to God. I know God is going to lead me. So it's just coming from love. I'm going to come from love in this decision. Anything that's scarcity, fear, anxiety is not the character trait. Now, the fourth part of this is the tool and the technique that is going to help you to get to that goal. So the tool and technique, if you write in chat, you're going to get some questions that's going to help you to get clarity. Everybody needs clarity. Everybody. The tool of the trait could be journaling. It could be running. It could be meditating. It could be reading A Course in Miracles. It could be doing tarot readings every day. It could be speaking to a coach. It could be joining Membership for Your Soul or Soul Finder Academy. It's whatever it is to you. So what is the tool now that you're going to use on a regular basis to remind you of your goal, to work through the messiness? The tool helps you to work through the messiness, to build the character trait. What is the tool that you are going to use to help all of that? So that's what I want to hear about now, the tool. So that's what I'm going to wait till I see that. So my tool is, I have many, many tools. So my tool is in the morning, I get up and I journal. And then I usually channel, I meditate. And then I usually exercise, whether I take the dogs out for a long walk or I go running or I do yoga. Then I work, but I have a very clear, concise way of working now for the most part. And then at the end of the day, after I'm done working, I'm like tonight, once I'm done with this, I'm going to take a 90-minute hike with my dogs. I listen to podcasts. It gets me very, very clear. So those are my tools that keep me balanced, because all of this is about remaining balanced in the choices we're making and making sure that we're making really good choices. Because what's keeping you from your goal is lack of clarity and making bad choices. And we're making bad choices because we're not conscious of the messiness. So we're just reacting. Okay. So Christina said meditation. Great. Love that. Susan says, tool I use, journaling, channeling, exercise, yoga work, broken up. Then when I'm done, I listen to spiritual things like this. Beautiful. Susan's a soul star. Remember, if you're a soul star, put in soul star. Leslie says, okay, one goal would be to be tuned into my true self. That's a great goal, but I'm going to give you an idea about this, Leslie. I have abilities and want to be able to help others to achieve their true self with the initiative in life. Okay. So the goal about being tuned into your true self, what is something that makes you already feel like you're connected to your true self? What is something that you do in your life, Leslie, that makes you feel connected to your true self already? That's what I would want to know. So hopefully you're still on. I'd love to hear that, because then I can take you further. Anne says meditations. Great. Okay. So that is the tool. So I want to see some more tools and techniques. The tool is so friggin' important. If you don't have the tools and techniques, you're going to be doing a lot of this and you're going to be doing a lot of spinning. When I was, and Anne knows this because she's part of membership and I've shared this story. Remember, guys, put in chat and you're going to get a questionnaire thing that you can get you very clear. We'd love to have you back, Danny. Email Laura to get back into membership for your soul. We'd love to have you back. Working more with my higher self, soul star. Great, great, great. Yeah, she's a soul star. Soul stars are people in membership for your soul. So the tool is super important. So my tools, I can't stand that crawler. It makes me want to throw up, is to do all of those things so that I stay clear. Because if I don't, when I'm experiencing my messiness and my uncomfortableness and my crappy energy, and I'm like so confused or whatever it is, if I don't use my tools and techniques, I would still be doing drugs. I'd still be drinking. God knows what I'd be doing. Like, my tools and techniques have saved my life. So you want to make sure that you're using these tools and techniques. Okay. So let's get a few more. Oh, here. Great. Leslie. She said, my wisdom from things I dealt with in life, I use that to help others. Great. But I want to get even more specific with you, Leslie. I'm trying to help you out here. What is an activity or something that you do in your life that makes you feel like you're in the truth of your soul? Because you said your true self. So I love it. I love it. I think you're on the right track. I just want to get a little more clarity there. Okay. Paula says her tool is using my personal affirmations and writing. Soul star. Yes. Joanne says, I love meditation. It frees me and helps me to believe myself. Great, great, great. Journaling and grounding meditation. Great. Love it. Okay. So Susan, this is great. Susan's a soul star too. Yes, the messiness gets me off course. Sometimes when it happens, I just need to surrender. I'm telling you all to surrender to the messiness. Messiness is something that we need to be okay with. There's nothing wrong with messiness. There's a lot of information in it. We don't want to run away from it, but we want to have the character trait to see it through, and we want the tools and techniques to clean up the messiness. Messiness is a really good thing. There is nothing in our lives when we really set our vision higher, our life gets messy. The belief that it doesn't is nuts, because it does. What we call, like in the book, The Big Leap, it's an upper limiting problem. When you start, like, there's so much to say about it, but when you start expanding your business, things start going awry. Things start going crazy. And it happens. It gets really messy, really uncomfortable, but that means change is happening, which is really good. Okay. So now let's go to, so Valerie says, tool is my crystal, sound healing, Reiki, meditations, and yoga. Great. Okay. So now, for those of you just joining, if you put chat, I can't do the crawler. If you put chat on thing, I'm sending you a questionnaire if you choose to fill it out. When you fill it out, it's going to get you very clear. It's going to get you clear on what it is, because lack of clarity stops synchronicity. I'm going to repeat it. Lack of clarity stops synchronicity. Tell me why. Tell me why, if you're not clear, synchronicity can't happen. Let me explain what synchronicity is to me. Synchronicity to me is when the universe and I are in such an intimate dialogue that there is a musical being created in my life, a symphony that speaks to my soul and shows me through this internal vision of light where to go. That's what synchronicity is to me. And if you ask me to repeat that, I can't. I think I could try, but I don't think I can. But synchronicity is this intimate conversation with the universe that is the symphony of my life. It is the musical of my life. It's my musical, not anybody else's. And it shines a light from the inside out, from my soul, and shows me where to go, what to do, who to talk to, what to say. There's such a conversation happening that it's so amazing. And if you're not clear, you can't possibly have synchronicity, which is what I'm trying to do with you. This is great. Sandra said, lack of clarity gives too many branches. Susan says, if you aren't clear, the universe gets confused. Yep. And doesn't know what you actually want and needs to provide. Not clear, we're not aware when source is sending us messages. Exactly. This is very good, Leslie. So I'm going back to Leslie because I've been working with her. So she said, when someone is talking to me, I give my input when they want it, or not just because I have to have my thoughts and voice heard. Good for you, Leslie. Now I'm way out there. Get me where I want to go, Marilyn. That's very good, Leslie. So, Leslie said that she wants to get into her truth, be living more in her truth. And a lot of my soul stars are on here, and they definitely live from that place. And she knew that her story was the thing that she wanted to get out there because that helps people. And I said, that's not enough for me. I want to know when you're in your truth already. I want tangible things. And she said, it's when she's helping people. She knows that she's in her truth. So you want to cultivate more of that in your life. Everybody does. Okay, so synchronicity. Here, Catherine says, you have to be clear for the universe to respond to what you're transmitting. There's even more to this, which is great. If you're in chaos, it's like static. So this is really good. So for those of you just joining, remember, if you put chat in, you're going to get a questionnaire. Fill it out. It's going to get you clear because you need clarity for synchronicity. I love everybody's understanding of synchronicity. It's so much fun. Synchronicity is seeing repeated angel numbers. That's part of synchronicity for sure, Valerie, and I like that. So synchronicity is when I said the universe and you are in an intimate conversation. It's your conversation with the universe. It's not your mother's. It's not your father's. It's not your priest. It's not your brother's. It's not your neighbor's. It's your conversation from your heart and soul with the universe. So you're clear. You're having this beautiful, intimate conversation. And the universe is sending you signs in so many different formats. Just landing on this live is a sign. Talking to a friend, hearing something on the TV, going out and seeing a physical sign or numbers or angel numbers, things like that. The universe is constantly giving you information about where to go, who to talk to, what to say, and what to do. And we're missing those signs when we're not clear, when we have too many goals that we're distracted, when we are stuck on problem and anxiety, and we are missing all of that. So synchronicity cannot happen if we're not clear, if we're not focused on where we want to go. Now, being focused on where you want to go doesn't mean that you don't allow other information in. It means that you're walking towards a path and you're being open. The universe is constantly sending us information. It's not that it's not sending us information. We're missing it because we're like this. We're so focused on the problem, the anxiety, the fear. It didn't happen before. Why would it happen now? We're not clear. Remember, I said something. Messiness is not a problem if you're clear. Once you decide on a goal or intention, it's going to get messy. But that's where the universe can help you. When you know, like, your goal, you're in the messiness, you know the character trait you're building, you're using the techniques and tools, the universe is right there synchronizing with you. So that's when synchronicity happens. And when you are in the symphony of your life, magic happens. Magic happens. And I'll tell you what else happens too. When you're in the symphony of your life and magic is happening, it's also telling you what not to do. It's also reminding you of situations that you don't want to do again. It's getting you clear. So it's not just a dialogue of go to A and it's going to be amazing and everything opens up. It's a dialogue of, ooh, remember when you did that? Wasn't the best thing for you. So I think I'll do this instead. It's just a constant conversation that keeps you on the road towards your dreams. So let's repeat them. And let me see if you guys have any. I love this. This is great, Kathy. Thank you. Synchronicity is flow, not fight. Love that. Okay, so put in the chat, and I'm going to send you a questionnaire through Messenger where you're going to answer a series of questions, and it's going to help you to get very clear. Even if you already know your goal, it's going to help you to think further. We need to always be taking self-inventory in order to continue to get clear about what it is. I'm always in self-inventory. And not to the point where I'm exhausted or not living my life, but I'm always kind of like, I think I'm always in the magic of everything. Even when I'm in a bad mood, I'm in the magic of everything. I'm in the, what does this mean? What's going on? Why is this happening? I'm very aware, very conscious. So the chat, if you type in chat, you're going to get the questionnaire that's going to help you to get clear. All right. So let's talk about the stages again. So number 1 is the goal, or if you want to call it intention. So let's get very clear right now, and everybody write down their goal or intention. This is number 1, the goal or intention. So write that down. And if anybody's struggling with it, I'm going to take a look at it real quick because I'm not going to last long. I can tell I'm petering out for some reason. I think I didn't eat enough. So number 1 is the goal or intention. And then number 2 is being okay with being in the messiness of it. Number 3 is the character trait you want to embody to carry you through this. See, just the fact that you, like, let's go back to Angel if she's still on here. I don't know if she's on here, or even Gia. Just the character traits that you want to embody means you already have it. It's just turning on a light to it. It's just making sure that it's on. And number 4 is the technique or tool you're going to use for the messiness and building of the character trait. I'm not sure if all is going to fit. And then number 5 is experiencing synchronicity. Yeah. You're going to use for, I need to get more space. Synchronicity. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it's not letting me show. Oh. Okay, there it is. Let's get rid of this. So it's not showing at all. So goal or intention, here, I'll put it in here. There you go. I just put it in the thing. Goal or intention, character trait, technique or tool. So let's see what everybody says. Gia says, financial freedom for my business. Okay. I need the whole thing. I want to see the whole thing. I like that. All right. So let me see the whole thing. So here's the whole thing. Goal or intention, being okay with being in the messiness of it. Character trait you want to embody to carry you through this. Technique or tool you're going to use for messiness and building of the character trait and experience creativity. So she says, Gia says, I need structure that I create for the messiness. So I don't know that you need structure, Gia. What you need is a belief in yourself, because I've seen you struggle with this for a really, really, really long time. So your goal is to, I think it's to have the Mary Kay parties, right? The messiness of it is the part of you that doesn't believe you're good enough to have it for whatever reason. The third part is the character trait. I am good enough. Just the fact that I have this passion. And if you believe in God, God gave you breath. You are a child of God. You have a way, whatever you believe in, but your divinity. And then 4 is the technique and tool that's going to help you to believe in yourself. And then 5 is opening up to synchronicity and listening to the universe, because the universe is not going to give you the full on answer, but it's going to guide you on the path to your dreams. So that's what's going on. All right. Here, Sandra, supported by my business, needing clients. That's the messiness of it. Great. Master teacher. Yes, she's owning and embodying the master teacher, but she is. Emails and Facebook Lives. That's the tool or technique. I love that, Sandra. That's so good. And, oh, I know someone who needs you. I don't know what that is, but I think that's a synchronistic thing. So that's great. All right. So that is, I suggest everybody to play with that, because that's going to be a life-changing experience for you. Especially now, I saw somebody else say it too, like, even though some of SIP is getting lifted, they're still staying inside too. I am too. I'm not like, I'm taking care of me right now. Like, I know I could go and I'm like, should I play tennis? I'm like, not yet. I'm still very focused on having certain goals come to fruition. So this is really, really good. All right, great. So remember, if you type in chat, you will get a, I'm going to read yours in a second, Denny. And anybody else who wants help right now, give it to me real quick. You're going to get a questionnaire that you'll fill in, and it's going to help you to get even more clarity about what you're struggling with and what you need work with. Okay, so Denny says, retire, uncertainty of money. Great. So that is the messiness, and that's a good messiness. So he wants to, so Denny started out this, this training with, should I retire or get another job? I don't know. So Denny, I'm actually going to help you with this right now, because I want to help you with this, and I want to help anybody else who's struggling with this. So this is a really great example. So Denny started out with saying, do I retire or do I get another job, right? So for any of you who are in this like struggle, right? And I said, Denny, you have to get honest with yourself. What is it that you really want to do? And he recognized he really wants to retire. But maybe that's not a possibility for like a year. So I'm not saying that's true, Denny. I'm just using it as an example. But he's being honest with himself. He's like, I want to retire. So you start from that place, not the indecision. Should I retire? Should I not retire? No, I want to retire. Then the messiness of it is, I got to find out my finances. Is this possible? What do I need to put into place to make this retirement happen? I'm going to turn it around to me a second. So I know that I'm going to be moving. I know that I'm going to sell my house probably next May. So I called a mortgage broker yesterday to get clear on what I needed to have in place in order for that to happen. It's not happening for a year from now, but I needed to think about like lenders, and because I'm self-employed, my corporation, what do I need? So I had a nice long conversation with a mortgage broker to get clear. So I know what finances I have to get in order for this, you know? Next step would be, I don't think it's a problem because I'm friends with my realtor, but we talk to my realtor. What should I do around my house? You can make these action steps now, because what they do is they get you in alignment with your heart and soul. Synchronicity, then spirit's like, the universe like, I know what he wants. Now I know. Now he's clear. So the third thing was faith in source. So he's building his connection to source, that this can actually happen. I love that. I think that's a great character building tool. It's mine right now too. I already have faith. I have faith and trust. I really do. But now I'm like, I want to come more from the God energy. I want to come more from love all the time. I want to recognize when I'm not doing that. So I love that one. So then the fourth one, his tool is to be open to non-standard work for some income and journaling. That's a solution. I love that tool, Denny. I think that's an amazing tool, because you're opening up to possibilities. You're opening up to the idea of, maybe I could have extra income coming in. I can retire from this, and that'll be the income I need. Everything's with eyes wide open now. And then his fifth one, his synchronicity, getting back, and I would love you back in membership for your soul. We all would. getting back in touch with you in this great group. It's just great to see your face again, Denny. So I'm so happy to see you. Okay, let's see if there's anybody else I can help. And for those of you, Kitty, I'll come to you next. Remember, if you type in chat, we have some questions for you that's going to help you to get very, very clear. And guys, thank you for being patient with me today, because it was really fakaked in the beginning, and I don't like that. Okay, so goal is, I can't look at that trailer. So, but if you type in chat, you're going to get that thing. Goal is transparency, messiness is sitting with fears. So that to me, Kitty, is not a good enough goal for me. That goal of transparency, and honey, you know me, okay? So I'm gonna be tough. Kitty's also in membership. I believe you're, yeah. And so I'm tougher on the people I know. I know Denny, I know Sandra. There's certain people I really know very, very well. So what I would love for you, Kitty, is, what does transparency mean to you? It's what I said to Leslie. What does truth mean to you? Where is it already showing up in your life? So what would transparency bring for you? Why is transparency important? Let's get a little bit more tactile with our goals. Let's not let them be a little bit, if they're out here, this is me, okay? I'm very pragmatic and practical. But if it's a little too out there, if I was going to say my goal was to be connected with God, that to me is a little clearer than transparency. So transparency to what? So I need to know a little bit more, sweetie. Messiness is sitting with fears and affirming I can move my vibration up. Okay, I like that. So maybe it's transparency of self, of your own spiritual growth, because now that I'm looking at messiness, that's what I'm assuming it is. So I like that. Been painting today of the fears and the strategies in my notebook to put in front of me to clear the fears. So that's great. She's using a tool and a technique. And synchronicity is using transparency. So I need a little bit more there, sweetie, to help me understand this a little bit better so I can help you. Okay, great. All right. So I think that's it. I don't see any more coming through. So type in chat. That'll be a really good tool for you to understand what it is that you need to get clear on. That'll really help you. And then let's put this in again. Where did it go? Let me find it. Here it is. I'll show it. And then remember, get a goal or intention. Let that goal or intention be something very tangible, specific, even if it is like Kitty, I think what she's saying is transparency of her spiritual nature, of the spiritual person she's becoming. So whatever that goal or intention is, maybe it's connection to God. That's okay. That's a good goal. But I don't want, I want it to be a little bit more grounded in some type of tangible action. Okay. That's what I think I'm looking for, is a tangible action. Let me just see if Kitty answered again. Following my soul's wish to build a business. So that, Kitty, is more concrete. Do you see what I'm doing with her? That's what I want you all to do. So your goal is to build a soul-minded business, a business based in your soul, and being honest with yourself about that, or transparent about that in the world. That's more tangible. Okay? So I think you understand what I'm doing. So you're all going to come up with a goal or intention. I want it more transparent. Then you're going to be okay with the messiness. I'm telling you right now, guys, it's going to get messy. If it's not getting messy in your life, change is not happening. You're not following me, I'll tell you that much, because I'm definitely not someone who's stagnant or like telling you to sit on the couch and just do love meditations. It's not enough for me. We've got to be in action. We're here to live. So being okay with the messiness. The third thing is the character trait you want to embody that'll help you carry through it. Remember, whatever character trait it is, you already have. You just need to turn the light up on it. The fourth thing is the technique or tool that's going to help you with the messiness, and it's going to help you build the character trait, and it's going to help you move forward in your goal. And then the fifth one is allowing magic to happen, paying attention to the synchronicity that is all around you. All right. So let's see what Kathy says. Create my home studio, suburban homestead. Love that. Great, great goal. Financial insecurity is the messiness. So this is really good. Like so many people, me included, like the next stage of thinking about it, financial insecurity can make us feel really uncomfortable, so much so that we do this to it. And we don't want to do that. We want to really get into it. And to be honest with you, when you're really connected to divine energy, light, source, God, love. There's always abundance. There's a ton of abundance. It's kind of like what Denny said in his thing, like paying attention to other ways of making income puts you in solution-minded thinking. So it's great that you're doing this. Resourcefulness, my reception keeps dropping, so I'm missing the steps. Okay. So the thing that she's building is resourcefulness. And that's a good character trait, being resourceful, learning what you need to learn in order to see this through. So very, very good. Okay. Here's the rest of it. There's somebody else. Being financially independent, insecurity, intuition, and meditation. So being financially independent, I want you to get more specific about that, Christina. What would it mean? What would you be doing to be financially independent? How would you be making money? I love the idea of it, but I want you to unpack it. That's a big thing for me. I'm always telling people, unpack it, unpack it, unpack it. Because just being financially independent, that is a little bit too broad. Remember I said I want to get more specific. It's like we're planting the seed for the roots to grow so that it could branch out into other areas of your life. Then insecurity, there must be something you want to do to be financially independent that you're feeling insecure with. That's the messiness. That's a good one. Using your intuition, that's great. I love that as a character trait. And then meditation is the tool and the technique. Very good. All right, guys. So I'm going to end it there. I would suggest you type in chat if you want to get more questions that'll help you to get clear. I don't think I'm doing a live next week because I'm doing a telesummit. So I won't be live next week. If I do it at a different time, I'll let you know. But I'm doing Wisdom of the Ancients next week, and we will post that on this Facebook page so you can hear me on there instead. And I think that's it. Okay, so I will see you soon. Remember, let's just put these tools up one more time. Your goal is to get really clear about your goal and about your intention. Unpack it. Don't let it be too general. Being okay with the messiness of it. The character trait you want to embody to help you carry it through. The technique or tool you're going to use for the messiness and building up the character trait. That's meditation, the technique or tool. And then experience synchronicity. So the goal or intention, I always like to summarize at the end. The goal or intention is financial security through my spiritual business. The being okay with the messiness of it, it's like the last person, the insecurity of can I really do it? The character trait you want to embody, I am a high priestess. I am a higher self. I am this magical person. Everybody is, right? The technique or tool, studies, spiritual studies, business studies, marketing studies. Those would be different tools that would help you carry it through it. And then the synchronicity is just once you make those decisions, you're in the synchronicity of life. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I will be seeing you soon, and have an incredible day or evening whenever you're watching this, and share it. Ugh, the first 3 minutes are so boring, so I don't know that sharing would help. But if you do share it, just make sure everybody knows. Fast forward it to when she starts really teaching. Okay, bye.